Today I'm going to continue my game of Rogue Tower. So the first thing I'm going to do is have a look at the upgrades again. Yellow upgrade cards can be randomly drawn. Start from the benefit of each game. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do first is I've got 462 upgrade points. So let's just get straight into using those. So these are just permanent upgrade ones, these blue ones. So I guess we based on how much I use the bolts, it wouldn't be a bad thing sort of jumping straight onto some of those. So I'm just going to go fundamentally all three of those straight off the bat. I did start using the mortars a little bit more at the end, so let's have a look. Yeah, we'll definitely take the option to get them doing more damage. Lead damage would be good. We are definitely just sort of spending money nice and quick. And we'll just chuck that in there. Alright, cool. So, let's jump into another one. Let's have a look at double defense. See how it looks to the other one. Now, hopefully with double defense, I'd imagine that what we want to hope for is one of our routes will route past the other one, so we can have the same set of say balusters and so on looking after both routes. So, for example, you can see he's going to be able to cover both. And we'll put him I feel like that would be too close. So we're going to expand this way. Straight up, and we'll put a guy up there. Now, the other thing I was wondering about with playing my... I definitely don't want to lose any health this early on. Thinking about with playing the balusters is that I didn't upgrade anyone. I didn't pay for any upgrades, and I certainly reckon that there was a point in my last game where I probably would have been better off paying for the expansion. Nah, that's a bummer. Do we get one of them? Good. Where are the mortar towers? I don't necessarily think I want to use... Oh, we might use one so far. That hit everything. Yeah, and then some. Okay, so I've got him in there early. Get a few of these towers up here on top of the hills where it can see both sides. And one in there too, although that's sort of almost putting a heavier set on this one side. But this is also currently the shorter route. Now, we don't want that guy going for closest, so we'll change his tune. The good news is that we have guys that are going to cover both sides up here. Nicely done, fellas. So we need 150 to afford him. That's a good sort of cross range of both lines. Sort of need one and the other at the same time. So I'll take the Tesla coil. We'll just hold on to it. I was hoping this was going to shift that way. I might get some Tesla coils, say one there, one here. Oh, nicely done, fellas, to get that at the very end there. Let's expand out that way. What do we need? 200. This is definitely becoming too heavy on this side for my guys to handle it. Oh, did I miss that this whole time? Alright, cool. So that's where I need to go for starting to get mana, and then being able to use my Tesla coils. Now, I think that I am going to try and use Tesla coils 1, 2, 3, 4. Would be a nice little setup. To just have them trying to pick off all these little guys. A lot not to like about what's happening on this side of my my defenses, though. This time you don't give it to me. We're gonna go the slow. Let's see how that works on this. You can still see it's not that expensive for these guys to get upgraded. I mean, they are only level 3. But I wonder, like, what the value is of spending the money to upgrade them versus having multiple towers. Like, is say one level 5 worth more than 5 level 1s, for example? So let's get this guy going. It's really speed to attack that I need from these guys. It's just nothing about this side here that seems to be overly, like, strategically good. That I need to have built sort of, I guess, further up at a corner so that these guys had more time to have eyes on what's attacking them, because this is just sort of like, these guys are just wandering on a straight line straight through. And the problem is, the longer that these guys stay paying attention to this side, the further along these guys can get. Which actually is a good argument for why I should be making one of these sides significantly longer than the other. Now, in this time, you can see the Mortar was actually doing more damage than the ballistas were for the amount of gold I spent on them. So, keep that in mind, and we'll go another one, but this time we'll go back to single, just to try and refine our strategy a bit more, because definitely I didn't have it for that. We want to sort of work out how many, I guess how many ballistas is going to be, is going to be a good amount. Now, first off, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into that. We're going to sell him because I don't think he's worth sitting there. And I'm going to go 5 guys right here. Straight away, we're going to have fewer numbers. It's going to be what's going to try and have us sort out this very last section. And as long as these guys are just absolutely tearing through these, if these guys aren't even, say, getting to this corner, I won't worry about building any more guys till we see what we've got further ahead. Take the Mortar. Who knows when they'll offer it again. Now this is another good corner, so we'll do a similar setup there. These corners where they almost sort of loop all the way around it means that there's they've got a lot of time that these guys are going to be in their line of vision, so we may as well try and exploit it. Now I don't know whether I should set some of these guys to just focus on the biggest guys, or they should all just sort of just preference the front guy. And arguably, like, the weakest guy could be worth being looked at. Just for one of these guys, just so that he's picking off short ones. But since there's no sort of tower that's any stronger than any of the other towers here, it doesn't feel like it's essential. This guy, on the other hand, let's go back to our priorities. Alright, so we'll take the Tesla coil. Hope that this time we get a chance to use it. Now, the fact that this guy gets to hit everything in that range does say that that's a nice little mortar hill that I've found myself. So, we will go with 3 mortars on that hill to try and oversee a lot of the line. No real spot found yet for Tesla coils. We sort of want something similar to that, but we want it further up this way. But we need 350. Again, it's also, like I said, it's a debate on whether I just start leveling up towers as opposed to adding more. But the design, basically, I feel of the way that you would set something up like this, that could be an alright Tesla location there, is that you go your Tesla to sort of potentially hurt a little bit of everyone. You've then got your mortars to get in there, and I mean, mortars could be before or after the Teslas either way. And these guys are just in there to really knock the big guys around. And then you want the towers, the ballista towers in there just to like pick them off at the end. So there should just be single individually focused on guys that could just be finished off. Take the damage. It's because we no point, we need the mana before we can do anything else really. I could put some ballista towers here as well. Ballista towers, mortar towers here. And I do realize I keep switching between saying ballista and ballista. I think ballista is correct, but force of habit has me saying ballista. Because I am uncultured. We've got enough that we'll get our 3rd mortar tower up here. If we have a look at that, a guy here could possibly get all the way back to here, maybe? If we're lucky. So we might have a look at having at least one there, see how we go. But there shouldn't be too much need for these towers to be dealing with anyone in this section. If that's a thing, then we've almost got a problem greater than those towers, and the amount of gold that we've got, we'd probably be better off spending upgrading these later towers. So hopefully we get something that allow the mana gain to actually allow us to build the Tesla coils soon. Otherwise we've just got to keep sitting on our hands for that. The ballista towers, the mortar towers are still sort of almost targeting the same one guy, but because before the first one's hit, the guy obviously still has his full health, but it doesn't seem that bad. Those guys have so much damage, or so much health rather, that they are all sort of contributing to knocking out the same one guy, so definitely not mad about it. That might be my Tesla coil spot, I'd say. But again, we can't do anything. Just gotta sit on our hands. Might just spend some money to upgrade some of these guys. I feel like it's going to be the armor and the shields that are ultimately going to be our downfall again. Because it does seem like they gain... Oh, no, I suppose they are working towards other ones. They're generally gaining towards the one that they're doing. So if they're seeing health units, they're doing health. If they're seeing armor units, they're doing armor. But the other ones just aren't going down at all because they're not seeing any armor guys yet, and only a few shield ones. These guys are doing great work though. Okay, there's the mine. I mean, that's not the one we want, but we'll do it anyway. Build 2 of them. Another good corner. Still hanging out for him. At least the longer this goes, I suppose, the better position I'll end up getting for this Tesla coil. The other good thing is that these guys are now traveling so far, they're actually spreading themselves out between the ones that are fast and the ones that are slow. So these slower guys are now completely separated from everyone else, so that no one will be distracted trying to deal with ground troops. Those little, what are they, houses on wheels? Little Trojan horses, I suppose, we'll get here. Now, we'll be curious to see how we go in this one. In this game, I would expect that the mortars will do more damage per money spent. Now, considering that as well, when I was looking at my previous stats in the last video of this, I did comment that my mortars weren't doing as much damage per gold, but I realized that that can be a little bit skewed because there is an investment period in this. The longer that I have these mortars up and running, the more damage they're going to do, and I'm not spending more money on them. So it might very well be wrong that they're less effective than the others. More accurately, it would be that I was using them less effectively than the others. And so hopefully that's different this time. That I would like to see that they're actually my big value purchases this time. Well, that's sort of going to dig him into a corner. I guess it's definitely positive for this guy. Getting to level up a little bit. He's only level 2. He hasn't seen much come his way. I don't want to spend too much money because if I do get the mana farming thing, then I'll be able to get a Tesla coil in there straight away, which will be good. It's always nice to see these guys leveling up, though. I suppose every time they level up in a particular field, it's making the other 2 fields a little bit slower to get to their next level. So you can see that I haven't seen many shield guys yet, and so the shields aren't leveling. So potentially in leveling, I actually should be paying for shield upgrades because they're the ones that maybe we're not improving at all, and it's becoming harder and harder to actually see them improve because each time I level, it goes up another 10. We don't want to crack open too many of those at once. Although I suppose it means all the guys will be running together. The mortars do some good damage to them. I've actually just hit a portal. Now, I don't see any reason to not using my money here. And give those shield ones a little bit extra, because you can see they're not getting too much in the way of attention. I guess the good thing is that as long as this guy's much slower than everyone else and they've got so far to travel before they even see my hours, hopefully he I do a bit more significant damage to him. You still have a fair bit of money here too. Hopefully they should now turn to... Maybe they're still considering it as just the person with the most shield that they're going for, and since he has no shield, he is not their concern. We'll try and get a few of these guys to sort of focus on the major problem walking by them. Some of these guys up there as well. Does feel like we haven't done enough damage to him at this point. Not looking good. I wonder if we just die if he makes it, or if we get a significant hit to our tower. Oh, savage. So the mortars were worth more there, and the ballistas were worth less. Now, part of that was that I spent a ton of money on those ballistas at the end there. Bit filthy that I'm not getting a look at that Tesla coil. It's 2 games in a row where it sort of just hasn't offered me the Tesla coil as an option. Or essentially I've got it, but I can't run it because I haven't gotten anything to run the mana. Let's just get one guy going. Expand, and then we will make this our little hub. We'll demolish him, we'll expand. One on that hill. Cool, you can see that corner. That's basically what we wanted. And then we'll make this our first major little corner. The mortars certain. Now I would now preference taking that mana, the mana siphon over the Tesla tower, because I can use that mana for something else. I can use it for my Alistair towers. We'd left it a little bit late here to do anything with the mana that I had there, or the money rather. Do a fair bit. See, this feels like a really tricky one. So I'm gonna say the slowest. I'm gonna bet that they I also don't understand why you need a series of priorities after that, because surely someone's going to be the slowest. All of these, like, I would rather someone who is the most health shield sort of combination. It doesn't feel like that's what this is going to going to really factor in. So I'm going to bet that everyone who's going to be a real focal point for these guys is going to be traveling slow. So if you can see someone that's running slow, like Oogie, or those, like the Trojan horses, then absolutely, that's what we want. That's who we want you focusing on. And I would like Tesla towers up here. But I sort of just have to wait, I guess, for them to show up. Spend some on shield now. Was I doing shield or armor there, sorry? I'm still not 100% on which one's shield and which one's armor. Alright, let's occupy a few more corners here with guys. Again, I don't want these. I just want my mana towers. It just seems like they're so buried. Wow, that's a real split up there. It really does say that everything I want to build should be from here down. No harm in having a bit more of a spread on my mortar towers too, so that they're not all shooting at necessarily the exact same guy. A lot of these guys are now wandering through past what we would consider a comfortable location. The mortars are doing the heavy lifting there, though, to make sure it's not a problem. I just need a Tesla tower. It's just every single round, it's not overly convincing, like... how we're looking. I think I've pulled back on these guys too much this time. Or again, I think that I'm waiting for the Tesla towers to come and sort of like do a lot of the work that I'm currently forcing these guys to have to do. And the area of effect damage on these guys doesn't seem massive. It's pretty small. And These guys just shoot so slowly that every round I'm getting guys sneak past. Ugh. It's just excruciating if the idea is that my only strategy is hope that I get the Tesla towers and the mana siphons in the same one go. Let's make him burn. Let's go most health and go something different to everyone else. Hopefully the fire has a little bit of an impact here. Are you still only level 2? Yeah, that feels like it at least made a significant impact on what's just happened. Like, these guys haven't really snuck all the way down like they had been. We do only have the 1 health at this stage, though. And certainly the shift to something like guys being armor heavy or shield heavy is certainly gonna, I imagine, cause me problems. Bad looking. Little ordinary. Oh, lucky. Alright, where is he coming from over here? I would think that he is walking as slow. I think even slower than those guys, so hopefully he does become the target of these guys. There are a lot of guys getting into this section though. And these guys will soon stop shooting this way and they'll turn and shoot at him, but that looks like they've done the work they needed. Lovely. I know they're considered slower. At least getting through those quick. Oh, it's a lot of guys for them to work on there. Again, we just haven't really... I just can't believe the first time I saw him it was fine, and then every time since I've just... I mean, I suppose it was... I just didn't have the Tesla coil again. All those little guys up here Tesla coil would sort it out. Alright. Not really too much in the takeaway strategy there. Again, the Mortar's doing really good. The ballistas are doing less than good. Just need to work out if there's a way that I can sort of force the hand of what I'm getting a bit more. Let's do some upgrades before we head out. Possibly the blue cards could be a way to go as well. Generate one more Actana tower. I mean, definitely we want to do this. It's a mana capacity. Yes. Sure. I have a feeling that every level there is between 0% to 33% chance tower repairs 1 damage. I mean, I feel that we should be spending money on things that will give us permanent. I think that the sort of the amount of time I'm surviving, I'm better off trying to deal in these things that are of permanency than all of this. Let's get all this first, and then we'll worry about going the other way. Unlock 9 more cards. What do I need to do to get you guys opening a bit more? Oh, just unlock anything 19 more? Is that what you're telling me? If I return to the main menu, let me just check here. Still 19? Alright. What do we got down here that we can do? There we go. Alright, well, thanks for watching. As we slowly try and work out our strategy for this game. Definitely am enjoying it though. It's certainly my style of game. So until next time, I'll catch you later. See ya.